guys.
I guess. Welcome to Really Bad F1.
Yeah, Josh doesn't know what's going on today.
No, this is
just in case you didn't know, Josh is over there. He's the one in the blue, wearing Destiny. He's repping Destiny today. OG Destiny.
This is the original tower, not what Bungie did in Destiny 2.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he doesn't actually have a clue what's going on with today's video. So, what we are doing is Josh is going to react and give us a mark out of 5 on F1 rumours that are currently sort of flying around. You know, silly season has started since January, so I thought we'd go for the current stuff, you know, and if it is good enough, maybe do it again a bit later. So, yeah, you ready?
Oh, what, ambush me more than once this year, thanks.
Yeah, so we're going to start with a rumour that's been flying around for a little while, actually. A couple of weeks, at least. Behrman to Haas.
Especially because of what's happened in this last 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Behrman proved how good he was in Saudi Arabia. He proved how good he can be. Last minute call-up. Absolutely smashed it all weekend. I know he didn't get to Q3, but he still got 11th in a Ferrari he'd never driven before that weekend.
Yeah, and considering he literally had just been in F2 and qualified for pole, I think it was at the time, you know, and then ended up being thrown into F1 because of Sainz's appendix. You know, he did brilliantly. Absolutely fantastic.
I completely agree. With the news that Hulkenberg's going to Audi, which, by the way, is a great move for Hulkenberg. Maybe we'll finally get a podium. We'll see. 2026, Hulkenberg for the podium. It frees up a spot at Haas. And they still use Ferrari engines.
Mm-hmm.
They've got that link there. They'll want to get BM in to try and line him up for when Lewis Hamilton does retire. Yeah. I give that one a 4 out of 5. I see that very much happening.
I fully agree with you. I think 4 out of 5 is probably about right. I think it's on that borderline. It's like 4.5. Yeah. It's almost like dead on. Okay. Next one. We'll go for one that's bigger. Verstappen to Mercedes.
I've been fluctuating with this one because the rumours have been there for like the last 4 months. Yeah. Well, I say 4 months, since all this horror stuff started, like the last 4 months.
Yeah, by the time this video goes up, it'll be almost May, so yeah. Almost. Yeah.
I don't know. I see at the start of the season, I would have told you not a chance. Mm-hmm. I still don't think it's going to happen, but I can see why it's a bit. Yes, Red Bull have the fastest car. I don't know. I think the relationship in that team has just changed over since the start of the year. Yeah. I don't know. Him and his engineer still get along like that. They're basically a married couple. They are hilarious. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. But if he was to move Mercedes, he's probably taking JP with him. Yes, he'd go to a midfield car, but Newey's leaving. Mm-hmm. Red Bull aren't going to be as fast once he leaves. No offense to Red Bull. No offense to whoever takes over Newey. Okay, and also Newey is not confirmed at this point in recording, but it's pretty much he's going. Yeah. Newey isn't going to be there, so whoever takes over, no offense, is not going to be as good as him. He's not going to have the Ferrari seat, Verstappen. It's a toxic environment in Red Bull. Him and George Russell's exciting lineup. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, Russell, in a sense, would have seen the back of Lewis to be pushed into the front, and then, you know, Verstappen appears. Oh, yeah, George would be furious. If Lewis won his 8th, he was a team leader, and Lewis was gone. I think that's what Toto sold him on. From the rumours, Mercedes are offering him a lot of money as well. Apparently meeting in Miami. Yeah, but after the race, apparently. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 though. There's something that just says, would he really join? No offense to him, what a midfield team. That's what Mercedes are now. Yeah, if you rate it out of the amount of, you know, there's only 10 teams, yeah, Mercedes are 4th, 5th. Probably more 5th than 4th. But for now, I think it's just a 2 out of 5. It could happen. It's just the fact that basically on the field team right now that put me off. It's an odd one. It's something that's been sort of, it's circulating. It wasn't like a massive story as such at the beginning. And it's starting to sort of come back to the forefront again. The noise around it is getting louder. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
It's a wait and see. It's not something I would have really predicted at the beginning of the season. Got a third one. So this one is one that I've kind of seen through X more than I have online. So again, can't confirm that it's a major one such, but it's one that I've seen, so it's a bit of a smaller one. Yeah. Stroll out, signs in.
No, I don't see it.
Even with the fact that Dad is possibly looking to sell 25%.
Oh, okay, that's news to me.
Yeah, that's one that's been going around, that he's got the ability to sell 25%, and there's investors sort of lining up to buy it.
I can see Lance Stroll fine losing his seat. As mad as it sounds, I can see him fine losing it. Before he even hit up 25%, because there's been a lot of speaking behind the scenes, apparently.
Yeah.
We always say allegedly because it's not confirmed until it comes out.
Yeah, of course.
So we just got to hear, we got to say what we hear from what we see.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Cool. Right. So, and allegedly, behind the scenes, the investors after Martin are furious that Lance Stroll's still on the team. Because he's costing them points, and he's costing the investors money.
Yeah, I'd be the same if I had that much money in it. And yeah.
Back in 2017 when he first started at Williams, I actually thought he had potential, as sad as it sounds. He actually got a few podiums with Williams. Don't get me wrong, the car back then was actually decent. It was like the third best car on the grid, so it could get podium. So I actually thought he had a bit of potential. And then he gets a pole in Aston Martin, Istanbul somehow. Again, fantastic. But his problem's always been inconsistency. Bahrain last year, what performance?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming.
He's got the innate ability in him. He just doesn't get it consistent. And that's what's frustrating about him. He's always had that little something, but he's never been able to just string it along.
I sort of worry for him at Miami.
I don't worry for him, I just don't think he's going to have points again.
I think there's just going to be a lot of eyes on him. And
yeah,
the thing is, if you're trying to eject a driver over points, unless you're stringing it over a course of a few seasons, it's a bit hard to get rid of them, especially like straight away at the beginning of the season. I mean, look at McLaren last season, right at the beginning, struggling majorly. It's not like they were going to go and fire Lando or Piastri, like it wasn't going to happen.
Oh no,
exactly. So there's a possibility he might be. Oh, we'll just give him a little bit, and we'll give him everything we possibly can to try and get some points on the board. But
he's had that though. I think that's everything. That's what the tangent done. So when the tangent, apologies again, but this is why I don't think Sainz is going to go there, just because of Sainz's dad.
Okay.
It sounds weird, because Sainz Senior has drove Ferrari for years and years and years, as in the rally scene. So he's got that inherent connection with Audi. Sainz is one of the best drivers on the grid now, that cannot be argued with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Audi have investing a lot of money into this. And Audi have actually just bought 100% of Sauber. They've spread ahead of the production. So technically, it's now Audi. And it's going to be under the Sauber name for the season, but it's now effectively Audi for the rest of the season. They will want to get a baseline ahead of them before they go into 2026. That's why I think Hulkenberg's been brought in, and that's why I think Sainz will be brought into Audi as well.
Okay.
So that's why I think Aston Martin, I'm not going to give it a 0 because you never know, but I think it's a 1 to 5.
I know that he has come out and said that he wants to stay in the sport no matter where that is. So
I said I think it'll be Audi.
Yeah.
Or kicks out at the time.
Yeah, I see it being Audi, and I felt like that was a bit too much of like a 4 out of 5 kind of thing. I think there was rumor that it could possibly it might have had talks, or is possibly going to have talks with Aston. Obviously, just to explore options. It's not the worst thing in the universe.
You've got to always explore. That's why I give it a 1, not a 0.
Yeah. But that's why I just thought to throw that one out there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So from that sort of very out there kind of out there one, the one that's been in the news most recently, it got reported on, what was it, last week? It started coming out properly. Well, I feel like you might know where this is going. Adrian Newey to Ferrari.
See, I think everyone's going to give the same answer. I think everyone sees it.
Mm.
I think actually everyone sees it. And Ferrari have the second best car on the grid.
Yep.
as much as I love McLaren, it is true.
Yeah.
You add new into there, they've got the best car on the grid. Obviously, it wouldn't be next season, but
From
the season after, 2026.
At most, he might be able to affect some upgrades throughout the season. Depends if they were working on it at the time. Probably towards the back end of the season, I'd say.
Depending on when he leaves Red Bull.
Well, yeah.
Because he might stay till the end of the season.
Well, I was thinking if he stays this season until the end of the season and then joins Ferrari, for 2025, it'll probably be, like I was saying, his effect will be
he could.
back end.
Yeah, he could help with the upgrades.
It depends on how quickly he's trying to escape.
I can see it happening very much so. Some people have said Mercedes as well. I don't think that'll happen.
I mentioned McLaren the other day. That was something
as much as I would love it. Again, I don't think it'll happen.
No.
He's been with McLaren in the past. I don't think he'd want to go back. He's been there, done that. They might be loyal to their teams. Everyone in F1 wants to drive for Ferrari at least once, or work for Ferrari at least once. But there's one slight thing that says I don't want to give this a 5 out of 5, and that's because he nearly retired 10 years ago. So when he was at original Red Bull, he was literally, I think it might not be 10 years ago, like 2016, 2015, he was meant to retire at the end of one of those seasons. But because, I don't know what stopped him, but he changed his mind right towards the end.
Yeah. He must have just been convinced by someone somewhere, surely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like retirement's always be in his head somewhere at that point. Obviously it's going to be, he's getting older.
Yeah.
But the older he's getting, he's not young anymore. I could see him retiring as a possibility instead. The fact that I don't think he's going to retire only because the way the wording's being framed of him about wanting to leave Red Bull and not leave the sport.
Yeah.
I think if he's going to join any team, he's joining Ferrari, and that's 4 to 5 for me. I feel like that is very much going to happen.
Right. Now, this one's a little bit more open, in a sense. So, I've put about Antonelli coming into F1, but I've put it from next season. I know you've got some opinions on this one. That's why I've put it in.
This, for me, all depends on what happens mid-season this season.
Okay.
And at the end of the Miami Grand Prix. Because if you watch my prediction for the start season, I did say Antonelli would replace Sargent midway through the season. It was bold, but I could always see it happen.
Yeah, yours are starting to become more and more true by the race, to be fair.
See, what I say is, in the actual prediction videos where I tried to get it right, it's not doing too bad. Apart from the Perez one, we don't speak about that one. That is going horribly bad.
I will say, though, Antonelli's not having the best of times in F2.
He sometimes starts slow.
Okay.
So I'm not too worried right now about that. If it gets to... But I'm not worried at this point about that one.
I mean, he's only young, so,
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, so was Verstappen. But,
yeah,
once in a blue moon, that one is.
I completely agree. Or is it 2? It all depends on if Sargent gets boosted from Williams mid-season. I think if you don't get Max Verstappen, they go for Antonelli. They put the money down on the future.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because they've got George Russell, who, as much as we all think he's still young, he's been in the sport nearly 5 years now.
Yeah, he's been around for a bit longer than
experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Lando. So 2019, Lando joined. So it'll be 2019. So 5 years. 6 next year.
Yeah.
Been in the sport a long time. So he's got the ability to lead the team.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, true.
So, I'll tell you what, look, he's a very promising driver. Can we do half points, or must we stick with the full points?
No, you can do a half point if you feel like it's more of a half.
I think it's a 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
It's all very dependent on Sargent.
It's all very circumstantial, basically. I could see it personally happening next season, and this is why when I wrote it down that it would be a next season thing rather than this season.
I know he's technically not as good as Albon, but from what we can see, what's he supposed to do when he's not being given the chance?
Well, exactly, yeah.
They've renewed his contract, said, Sargent, we trust you. We're going to give you the money. We're going to keep you on another season. Let's go and smash it. Now, what you got to contend is broken chassis, bad setups. Anything we can do to screw over, that's all we're going to do. Look, I'm not bashing Williams. I like James Vowles. I like Williams. They're one of the best constructors they've ever had. They're one of the second most constructors titles.
Yeah.
They're a big team.
Yeah.
As much as people don't think they are nowadays.
No, they're not as well. Yeah, they're not as much nowadays, but in terms of overall, yeah,
Yeah. Let's see what happens from Miami. They should have the spare chassis from Miami.
yep.
Both got proper chassis. If he's still not doing it in the next 4 or 5 races,
You think he's gone?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's got to the midpoint. I think midpoint is Spa this year, and then it goes into a break instead.
Yeah.
I think they pushed Spa forward before the zone break this year.
Yeah, I think they did, didn't they?
Yeah. So I think he's got to Spa now.
Well, to be fair, that's all 5. I do have like a bonus, 5.1.
Ooh, let's go 5.1.
Right. So we'll do it again. So scale it from 0 to 5. What are the chances that Sauber are going to get a pit stop under 3 seconds this season? Just a quick one, right at the end.
Right, 0. No,
0.5.
They'll get the thread sorted out. It's just a shame we can't go back to the old ones, because of the design of the car.
Yeah, that's the end of our video. And our little roundup of the gossips and the thread, whatever. Yeah, the random things going on in the background. Yeah, and we will see you next week for our Miami video. And if you can, speaking of Miami, if you go into our link tree, we've got a link in there for the F1 store, and they've released a bunch of Miami merch. There's some very good stuff in there. Have a little nose, have a little buy if you fancy it. And yeah, we will see you in the next one.